Primitive Plus is a total conversion mod, and the second DLC released to Ark. Loved by many and played by few, this mod basically changes everything in the game, so I have 100 days to beat it on the island map. So, let's get into the video. As soon as I woke up, I was immediately greeted by an ichthyornis. I crafted up a few of the essentials, then I tried to swim to the next island and was mauled to death by piranhas. Next I killed this dodo for its poultry and feathers. Then I went on an explore note run to get some levels. Next I cooked up the meat I had and spotted the alpha megalodon, so I shot it a few times with my bow, but then this raptor fell from the sky and brutally murdered me. Oh no! Stop. On my way back to get my stuff, I found this. Then I went medieval on the raptor who killed me and also killed this turtle while I was at it for its keratin and hide. Then I knocked out this level 4 pteranodon, which is low level, but once I tamed it, I then knocked out a level 108 pteranodon in hopes to tame it, but this raptor had other plans. Wait, did that? So I killed it. Get wrecked. The next morning I mined some crystal to make a spyglass. Then I opened this yellow drop to find a mastercraft chitin chest piece. Then I made a temporary base with a forge and then began making narcotics. After that I went exploring and got this apprentice iron pick blueprint, which was decent. Then I landed and wasn't paying attention for a second and these microraptors swarmed and killed me. Please stop. Oh my word. Then I barely escaped with my life from this Carno thanks to this unfortunate Phiomia. As soon as I got close to my body, I got the dreaded message that my pteranodon had been killed. Rest in peace, buddy. I got back to my stuff and was nearly killed yet again by the microraptor. Oh shoot, what is... And then later that day, I was taking a drink, but this baryonyx thought I was a snack and killed me. Oh no. I retrieved my things and then I ran. Then I was cooking some meat, but this titanoboa knocked me out and ruthlessly murdered me. As soon as I respawned, I was caproed to death. I found this pteranodon stuck in rocks, so I flung rocks at its head until it loved me. Before knocking out this other pteranodon and spotting this level 108 RG. Oh, 108, okay. This dillo was attacking my pteranodon, so I killed the dillo, but killed Dumpy too in the process. But that was okay because my other pteranodon had tamed up, but we ran into some trouble with the RGs. Alright. Eventually, after that fiasco, I made it to the place I would call home. The Hidden Lake, which is where the Primitive Plus trailer was filmed. So I began construction on my house and made some more narcotics. Day 3 I was almost killed by a beaver, and it definitely wasn't because I tried to steal all of its cementing paste. Then I crafted a crossbow and trained this level 60 trike. And I named it Jelani after my friend who got me into playing Ark. I also found this golden egg, then Jelani and I went out to tame that level 108 RG we found the day prior, and killed a Rex along the way and had a close encounter with another. Then I stupidly tried to knock out the RG without using a trap, and paid the price. Oh shoot. Rest in peace, Johnny. Eventually it was knocked out and then this happened. Please don't oxygen. And to get some prime meat, I took out this low level Bronto. When my RG was tamed, I named it Daryl the Barrel. I went to the mountains to gather some materials and look for some possible Rex tames, but only found low levels. Then I found this unicorn, so I had to take it back to my base and tame it. What? And because of her mysterious behavior, I decided to name her Mystery. But she was also graceful and majestic, so perhaps I would name her Grace, or Majesty, or Debbie. I hope someone got that reference. I smelted some metal and then did more construction on my house. I began to realize all the dino levels were very low, so I changed the setting in hopes of higher level dinos and did a dino wipe, but nothing seemed to change. Then I constructed a construction table to construct constructibles for construction. This theory decided to bully and try to kill us. And I had enough metal to craft a set of flat gear, so that's what I did. The next day I trapped this level 112 Rex, and you know what that means. While I was waiting for my Rex to tame, I killed this Alpha Raptor and got this Journeyman crossbow. And when my Rex was tamed, I named it Larry and took it back to base. Did some gardening and tamed this Phiomia so I could have unlimited poop for my crops. I found this boosted yellow drop and almost cried at the sight of what was inside. Terrible. Later I found this Ascendant Sabertooth saddle in a red drop. Not great, but... Then I came across these aloes. After that, I robbed these beavers of their cementing paste because I'm higher on the food chain. Stop it. That's not nice. I tried everything I could to get some beeswax, but there's a known bug that sometimes makes it impossible to get it, and I definitely didn't use cheats to get myself some beeswax since it was Ark's fault and not mine. When I got back to base, there was this red drop, so I tried to grab both things in there, but I forgot that you can only grab one thing at a time unless you click transfer all button. So I crafted a battle axe and slapped the local wildlife. Tested out the new recurve bow and crafted a hammer, which is a torpor inflicting melee weapon, but it's actually pathetic. Since I had a good Sabertooth saddle, I went out to try to tame a Sabertooth. Emphasis on tried. What? I didn't need him anyways. Then I did successfully tame this level 52 Sabertooth and named him Diego. Next I crafted some bug repellent, took Diego out for leveling, almost died, then went to the lower south cave to get the artifact of the hunter, and the bug repellent made it surprisingly easy. I then knocked out a level 100 Anki so I could get more metal. And you'll notice right here how broken the Stegosaurus are. While I was tranking this level 108 dire wolf, I nearly died. That was scary. So I took it back to my base as a place to tame it. When it did tame, I named it Doggy because I'm clever, and took it to Carno Island for some leveling and to run the northeast cave. Alright, I'm just gonna go down. Grabbed the artifact and tried to assassinate this evil bat with my musket, but this is where things went downhill. How did that happen? Oh, a red drop. No! Dang it. To try to get my stuff back, I took Diego and... Not again. Eventually, after dying a few more times and kiting the bats away, I retrieved my stuff. before shrinking out this level 112 Therizino. While I was waiting for it to tame, I took my Anki out for a metal run, and that night crafted some fur gear and placed the last ceiling, therefore finishing my house. Day 12 I was in the redwoods and got knocked off my RG twice. Yep. And I realized my Therizino never tamed. I was going to make a mind wipe tonic so I could put most of my points into oxygen for the water cave because this mod removed scuba gear. Once it was crafted, I drank it and forgot everything. Once I had prepared some stuff, I left for the easy water cave. And before I enter the cave, will I A, come out unscathed, B, die a bunch of times, or C, completely give up? Well, let's find out.
Nice.
If you guessed B, you'd be right.
Dang it, I was so close.
Dang it. A little bit. Keep down. But eventually I did, emphasis on eventually, get my stuff back. On my way back to base, I tamed this Mesopithecus and named it George. I spent the rest of the day looking for a good level Rex. Tested out the new flintlock and it worked. But I was disappointed it was only a single shot. There was a red drop near my base with a nice mammoth saddle, so I grabbed it. And a little bit later found this yellow drop with some amazing armor in it. Later I went back to my base to make a mind wipe tonic so most of my points wouldn't be in oxygen. Next I found this level 116 Sabertooth, so you know I had to tame it. We went to the ocean to collect Megalodon teeth for the alpha monkey battle we would be doing. Once my dentistry was over with, I took a trip to the northeast cave again to look for an entrance loot crate, but only got trash loot. However, this blue drop had some nice fur pants inside. I knew I would need a Megalania toxin for the Megapithecus battle, so Diego 2.0 and I headed over there. The plan was to tame a breeding pair of Megalania so I could get the toxins from their babies. And fortunately, the cave had both male and female. So I tamed them, set them to breeding, collected the eggs, and then resurfaced on day 17. Hello? I was feeling adventurous, so I decided to go do another cave run and try to get the artifact of the pack. There were quite a few hostiles, but Diego 2.0 made quick work of them. I retrieved the artifact, but due to the combination of the cold weather and the mega rabies, I didn't make it out in one piece. Then something devastating happened. Diego, I think this is where we part ways. You've been a good caver, but there's no way I can fit you through this hole. And you can't climb, so I kind of have to leave you here. Well, at least I still had Daryl with me. Eventually I came across this level 108 male Rex, which would mean I could have a breeding pair if I tamed it. So I hopped up on a rock and knocked it out. Then I discreetly got some prime meat, tamed my Rex, and named it Jerry, before coming across this amazing Sarcosaddle blueprint. When I made it back to base, I set my Rexes on breeding and hatched my first Rex egg. Day 19 through 20, I mainly spent raising Rexes, imprinting and leveling them to make them boss worthy, and it was only a problem when they wanted kibble. The next day I killed an Alpha Raptor, only to get bad loot, before finding this Hyenodon and trying to tame it, but it got spooked and ran away. So I gave up on trying to tame it and decided to tame this Doed instead. but it did that stupid thing where it curled up in its shell. So I took it back to base to tame later. Eventually I did knock it out, so I gave it some berries and let it tame. By that afternoon I had 12 Rexes raised and more on the way. And I named this one Good Measure for Good Measure. Later I took the Anki out to do a metal run because I would need it for making Rex saddles and stuff. I tried taming the Sudi, but what I didn't know is that they could fit through stone gates.
Oh no, they get through.
Then bad things happened and even worse things happened.
Oh no.
Eventually I successfully knocked it out, but this direwolf and RG didn't want me to have any good taming effectiveness.
Stop that, stop that.
I decided to keep taming it anyway instead of letting it wake up and redo the entire process. Once I got back to base, I crafted that first chest piece because I knew I'd need it. And shortly after took my RG and 4 of the Rexes I raised and leveled over to the blue obelisk. We arrived at the blue obelisk on day 23 and it took about 30 minutes. The plan was to do the Megapithecus on Alpha, the Broodmother on Beta, Dragon on Gamma, and Overseer on Gamma. And of course, I tamed another Mesopithecus. And back to more Rex hatching. I took 4 more Rexes over to the blue obelisk, and since the dino AI in this game is so terrible, it took longer than it needed to. We got there, and I turned around and came home. And on the way I found some pretty nice leggings, and of course I had to level up more Rexes when I got back. Day 26 I leveled up more Rexes. Day 27, I spotted this level 72 RG and decided to tame it so I could put the majority of its points into weight for metal runs. When it tamed, I named it Arnold and took it back to base before taking 4 more Rexes over to the blue obelisk, and when I got there, I healed some of the Rexes. And the next day I took even more over to the obelisk. When I got back, I took Arnold and my Anki out to collect metal and crystal. When I got back, Mystery was ganged up on by raptors.
What?
I was, however, somewhat cheered up by these fur boots from a drop. I crafted a gravestone for Mystery and then started construction on a greenhouse. I found a Mastercraft Angie saddle, which was decent, but I didn't really need one. However, I did need a bigger workspace because mine was getting pretty cramped. So I started on building a larger area for storage, forges, and other things. I also crafted a gravestone for Jelani too. I realized how much wood I would need and that I should have a wood gatherer, so I went out to try to find a mammoth to tame and found a level 80, but its health was too low for me to knock out. So I kept looking and found a level 72 that seemed suitable for wood and berry gathering. And of course when it tamed, I named it Manny. There were many threats on our trek back. But right when we were getting back to base, I dismounted while we were falling a little bit too late and Manny died.
No. Oh my goodness. No freaking way.
I was planning to jump off of him at like the last second, but apparently that didn't work. I was annoyed and over it all, so I just tamed this level 28 mammoth near base. When it was knocked out, I spotted a red drop and almost died on my way over.
Oh, no.
I don't know what to do. I guess I'm dead. Oh, I guess I'm not. When I got to the drop, it had a ring, which made it even better until it disappeared before my very eyes.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
When my mammoth tamed, I named it Manny V2. We got back to base and resumed construction on the work base. By day 32, I had finished the outside and was filling the inside with forages. I went on many more metal runs because I wanted to craft an industrial forge. I crafted a workbench, which is really cool because it allows you to craft things at reduced cost, which would be great for me. I had enough metal and steel to make a forge, but still needed crystal and oil. I went out to get some and found a level 56 Daedon and took it back to base and tamed it. Then I crafted the industrial forge and it was smaller than I imagined. Oh, it was a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I crafted an alchemy table, which is basically a motor and pestle that allows you to double the amount produced. And after that, I made an industrial cooker so I can make paints and brews. I also set up a windmill and didn't know how the heck to use it. What does this do? I crafted a megatherium cell and went out looking for one to tame, but didn't find any good level 1s. I took a trip to the swamp cave to get a feel for the place and was not welcome. So, I went out to collect some Titanoboa venom and Sarco skin until I found this level 92 Sarco and decided to tame it, because I didn't have a water tame. I named it Squilliam and made it follow me back to base before crafting that Ascendant Sarco saddle I found earlier. I crafted another Mind Wipe tonic because it was time to do the hard water cave, and it was safe to say I was pretty worried about going in there after what happened last water cave.
Dang it.
And before I go in, will I A, come out unscathed, B, die a bunch of times, or C, take one look at the cave and leave? Well, let's see.
That's a lot of scary guys. Oh no. Come on, we can do this. Yes. Oh, look at that red drop. That was really good. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Please quit. Oh, this has been easy. Oh my good. Oh shoot. I spoke too soon. Okay.
I came out unscathed, and I was pretty surprised. When I got back, I crafted another mind wipe so I could change my stats. Then I did some gardening and accidentally ate feces. We won't talk about that though. I got stuck in the ceiling and it wouldn't be the first or last time it happened. I got some garbage loot from a red drop and I went out to get some polymer for ghillie armor just to find out that ghillie is crafted using feathers now. I was ready to enter the swamp cave with my bug spraying ghillie. However, since there aren't any scuba gear or gas masks, I had to just make med brews and hope for the best. Hoping for the best didn't seem to do anything, as I didn't even see this titanoboa that hit me, and then everyone decided to destroy me. So I respawned back at base and gathered some things I would need to get my stuff back, and went over to the swamp cave with Arnold. I made it to where my body was, and you can see the astonishing amount of bugs hovering around it. I retrieved the artifact and somehow walked past this cave drop twice. I had no way of getting a dino into the snow cave because there aren't cryopods, so I was going to try to just do it on foot. But I knew the dinos in there would be too powerful and too plentiful for me. I left the cave, but since I was in the area, I went to the northwest cave to get the artifact of the Skylord. However, when I was grappled to the wall, my grapple detached without my permission, which seemed like a bug or something since the Wikipedia said nothing about a limit for how long you can hold yourself with a grapple. So I did something I'm not very proud of. I used cheats to get my stuff back.
What? No, alright, I know that sounds bad.
But hear me out. It would have been literally impossible for me to get my stuff back without cheats because my back had gone under the mesh. My stuff, my body, like completely no clipped out of reality. So after being put to shame by that cave, I went to do the central cave, which is known to be an easier cave. I almost jumped into the piranha pit, which would have likely been a problem. I retrieved the artifact and then tried to tame a spider. I saw a video saying that you can take a centipede that you tamed in a cave into the snow cave and nothing would aggro onto you. So I went to a cave to try to tame one for that very reason. I tamed a level 76.
Come on, boy.
Come on, boy. Follow me. You're gonna not go over the crystal. At long last, I got that thing out of the cave and home before going on a resource run and crafting a centipede saddle. So I proudly and confidently took my centipede over to the snow cave.
Hey, whoa, dude. Oh good, he killed the Meteorium.
Are you freaking kidding me? So I went on over to the upper south cave to tame another centipede, but I accidentally killed it while fighting off an onyx and caught mega rabies for the icing on the cake. I found and tamed another, and this time I was able to get out of the cave alive with only minor setbacks. What are you doing? I will mention that I did use the ghost cheat twice because there was an area that the centipede wouldn't fit through. We went over to the snow cave and were met with a problem. We couldn't fit. So yeah, I did ghost again because in the video it did show him going through without ghosting. And what do you know? Everything aggroed on me. All aggro. As you can see, this is a tutorial for the mobile version of Ark, and the mobile version is pretty much just an entirely different game. Day 42 doesn't exist, but evidence suggests that I went to the lava cave and got the artifact of the massive, and for the sake of content, I ghosted a Rex into the snow cave and the parts it wouldn't fit. Day 43 I was recording, and I went to the northeast cave to try to get the artifact of the Skylord once again. After that, I got some pretty good gauntlets from a drop. I did some organizing, and after that went to get some obsidian so I can make artifact pedestals and display my artifacts. I then crafted some better fur armor and took the Yeti and more Rexes over to the obelisk. And when we got there, I came back home to grab the tributes for the monkey battle.
Insert cash or select payment type.
And I didn't have the Spinosauls needed. Now, it was time to fight the Megapithecus. Alright. Hey, we actually teleported without dying. Oh, he's big mad. Alright, boys, get him. Oh, we're doing pretty good damage, actually. Whoa, boy. Oh, man. Oh, I still got 220 armor. That's so pretty. On my way home, I found an industrial forge in a red drop, and then found an amazing crossbow from another drop. When I got home, I placed my monkey flag. After that, I went out to collect tributes for the broodmother.
Pablo.
And I had to take Rexes over to the red obelisk. I decided to take them there instead of taking them to the green obelisk because it seemed like it would be an easier journey. We made it there and immediately turned around and repeated the process. And by the end of day 48, I had all the Rexes over to the red obelisk. I tried to go out and get some deep sea loot crates, but since there's no scuba gear, you can imagine I wasn't very successful. So I went back home and did some gardening. Day 50. I mounted my monkey trophy, drank another mind wipe for oxygen, and went out to look for deep sea loot crates. I didn't find any, but I did come across a Leoplorodon, which boosts loot crate quality. I tried to harvest some Basilo blubber, because I was considering fighting the beta dragon. Don't worry, Squilliam, I won't let you down. Where's the Basilo blubber? No! Well, at least I got that blubber. I got my stuff back, reset my stats, and then played around with paints. I painted Mr. Clean. Please don't make fun of me, this is my first time painting. I crafted some better ghillie armor since the tech cave and the dragon arena are scorching. After that, I built a little house for my Phiomia. And saw this Trudon lurking around my base, so I had to eliminate the threat. Next I went to the northeast cave for loot, and got a good pickaxe blueprint. By the end of the day, I was ready to do the dragon boss. Much of the battle was just waiting for that darn thing to land, but when it did land, that was all the time we needed. The next day I took Rexes to the green obelisk before placing my dragon flag and mounting the trophy. I was running low on metal, so I went out for a metal run. Next I made a locker for all the loot I had acquired over time. I made a bunch of fertilizer. And I took more Rexes over to the green obelisk. It was day 55 and I still hadn't added torches to my workshop, so I changed that. And you know the drill, time to take more Rexes to the green obelisk. When I got back, I crafted a sticky bomb and took it to the northeast cave to test it out. And what do you know, it doesn't work. But at least the trip wasn't a total waste. Oh, never mind, it was. I went over to the lava cave to look for loot. I didn't find any and almost jumped into lava. I came across a level 88 Bronto and decided to tame it. When we arrived home, I started laying foundations on the platform saddle. And on day 58, it was time to fight the Broodmother. And now all that's left is the Overseer. I hauled Rexes over to the Tech Cave terminal. Some Rexes may or may not have gotten a bit burnt in the process. I guess they didn't have the high ground, if you know what I mean. It was now day 60, the day I would turn the day speed up to 2.0, making the day cycle significantly faster. I spent that day taking Rexes to the Tech Cave and tamed an otter.
Yes.
I wasn't recording on day 61, but I found a Rex saddle blueprint in a red drop. I feel like a lower quality saddle would have been better so I could make more at an affordable price, but I'm not complaining. I was able to make a single saddle from the metal and hide I had on hand, and I knew I'd need to grind a lot if I wanted to make more. Later, I mounted the Broodmother trophy, and I must say, the trophies look good together. I made a smokehouse and dried some barley before crafting another expensive Rex saddle and grinding for more metal. And it was a good thing I had 2 industrial forges going because I had a lot of metal. And by day 65, I had 4 Rex saddles made. I then went out and found this level 96 direwolf, knocked it out, got prime meat, tamed said direwolf, and came one hit from death. One more hit and I was dead. One more hit. Day 66. I went out to collect a lot of hide, so I'll sum it up in a montage. After that, I finished construction on the Bronto base, and tamed another monkey because I thought I could use it as a turret. I wasn't recording for much of day 69, but I put a hat on my otter and it really made my day. I also ate some bacon, which is worth mentioning. I tried taming a Therizino, but decided to go after my Rex, and we couldn't have that. I was in the swamp area, so I grabbed some plant egg species, which act as a turret when fully grown. I found and tamed a level 68 Diplocaulus because they can share oxygen with you, which is great for Primitive Plus. I really should have used this a long time ago. So we went to the easy water cave to look for loot drops and actually got some pretty good stuff. Since things went so well, why not try doing the hard water cave? After that, I found a primitive shield and a yellow drop, which just added insult to injury. When I got back, I cut my hair and dyed it. The rest of the day and most of the following day I spent grinding. Would you like to watch? I was feeling adventurous, so I went to the northwest cave to look for loot crates. I didn't find any and almost died. I almost died. When I resurfaced, I grabbed a few drops. Nothing special though. By day 76, my plant species X was grown, and I was pretty impressed with it. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I crafted a fishing pole and went out to the redwoods to fish. And I cannot stress how underwhelming the loot was. On my way back home, I grabbed a few drops, all containing trash loot, and then grabbed some much needed hide. And by day 79, I had 11 Rex saddles made. And painted one for Harry because he was my favorite Rex. Day 80, I was back at the swamp cave for loot crates. I feel like I was trolled by how bad this loot was, but I was compensated for the next 2 drops. I tested out the new Ascendant Hammer on an unsuspecting frog. It did 31 topor. For comparison, a wooden club does 18.8.
What? They grab you off your tame?
I found and tamed another Diplocaulus so I could try to get some deep sea loot crates. I started by looking in drops in the easy water cave. I didn't find any deep sea crates, but I did find an Electrophorus. Quite a few of them actually. Wait a minute. No.
Here, please hit me as hard as you can. Don't hold back.
To get my stuff back, I made a raft with a bed so I could keep respawning in the ocean. All of day 83 and most of day 84 I spent trying to get my stuff back, and eventually I did. On day 85, I brewed some wheat beer to tame a Kylocotherium, but they can't be tamed with wheat beer, and you can't make regular beer in Primitive Plus, so I switched out the wheat beer for regular beer. When I got back, I made some tomato juice, for whatever reason. Alright, let's see if it's worth it. I found this huge salmon, and I wanted to catch it. I spent almost 2 days trying to catch that thing and eventually gave up. I went home and made some Freya curry because the Overseer Arena is super cold. I went to the swamp cave, probably looking for drops, but that was short-lived when my ghillie gauntlets broke. So I went home and grabbed some armor from base that I might need in the Overseer battle, and took it over to the volcano. I threw my monkey at the wall countless times trying to get it through the window. Why, you might ask? Doesn't matter. Yes! I tried taming a Hesperornis.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
All I have in my notes for day 92 is just show red drop. So help me, this despawns. Nope. So, there's red drop for you. Really waited till the last minute there to help me, huh? Oh shit, I'm gonna get knocked out. Yeah. Day 93, I crafted a real shield, just to be prepared for the tech cave. I messed around with paints until I found a pattern I liked. I went to the northeast cave for loot and got a good raptor saddle blueprint. Spoiler alert, I wouldn't be using it. And the rest of the day I just spent painting stuff. I said goodbye to Mr. Clean and headed over to the volcano to watch the sunset with Arnold and my monkey. Jelani and Mystery would have loved to see the progress I've made so far, but unfortunately they were mauled to death by wild dinosaurs. And on day 95, I took 12 Rexes, a Yeti, and my monkey into the tech cave and marched down the path caravan style. What makes this cave so intimidating is at any moment your tames can fall into the lava and die if you're not careful. I ghosted this one Rex because it somehow got itself stuck. Oh, they're after me. After all that preparing I did, I failed to bring enough water. There's no way I would have been able to make it through the tech cave and defeat the overseer. So I lost the challenge, and that's where the video ends. But suppose I did have a jar of water. Here's how things would have played out. Terry would have fallen in the lava. We would have met a Giga guarding the path, but gotten past it like a champ. We walked past the halls and were met with the overseer, and the battle begins. It's so peaceful. I still consider this challenge a fail because I wouldn't have been able to unless I gave myself water. But thank you for sticking around to the end. I appreciate it. Did I enjoy it? Kinda. parts of it I did. But in the end, I think it's worth it. I plan on making more videos, so consider subscribing because that would be helpful. Okay, bye now.